Good morning. Today we are going to continue the UN speech by Malala Yousafzai. We are going to start from the page number 71 in your textbook. You please be ready with the paragraph 3 in the page number 71. Malala continues her speech by emphasizing the power of books and education. When the Pakistani people saw the guns, they realized the importance of books and pens. She points out the famous quote, "The pen is mightier than sword." Malala speaks about the importance of education. She points out the importance of books and pen. She also reminds us Pakistani people understand the power of books and pen. Then she points out the famous quote. What is the quote? "The pen is mightier than sword." The pen is more powerful than the sword. Malala says the terrorists are afraid of the power of education and the voice of women. Only because of that fear, they killed 14 innocent medical students in the recent attack in Quetta. Malala also reveals that terrorists are afraid of the power of education. We can see so many proof relating it. Because of that, Taliban banned the education in Pakistan. They started to attack schools. We can see that here they killed 14 innocent medical students in Quetta. Have you heard about Quetta? Quetta is the provincial capital and largest city of the province of Balochistan in Pakistan. It is also the 10th largest city of Pakistan. It was largely destroyed in the 1935 Quetta earthquake, but was rebuilt and has a population of 10,01,205 according to the census of 2017. I already told you Taliban killed 14 medical students in Quetta. They banned education in Pakistan. They started to exploit the schools. From these we can identify that Taliban is afraid of the power of education. That is why they killed female teachers and polio workers in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa FATA. Then we can see another example. Taliban, they killed female teachers. They also killed polio workers in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and FATA. Have you heard about Khyber Pakhtunkhwa? Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, formerly known as the Northwest Frontier Province, is one of the 4 provinces of Pakistan located in the northwestern region of the country along the international border with Afghanistan. Then I want to speak about FATA. What is FATA? The Federal Administered Tribal Areas was a semi-autonomous tribal region in northwestern Pakistan that existed from 1947 until being merged with the neighboring province Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in 2018. With this picture you can easily understand what is FATA. Its full form is the Federally Administered Tribal Areas. So we can see that through these incidents we can easily prove that the Taliban is afraid of the power of education. They knew it very well. The pen is mightier than the sword. The terrorists terrorists blasted many schools because of their fear for change and equality that the education is likely to produce in a society. I already told you before, they exploited or they bombed so many schools because of their fear for change. They are afraid of powerful women and education. They believe that through education, people can bring changes in Pakistan. That's why they are blasting the schools. They knew it well. The pen is mightier than sword. Then we can move to the next paragraph. A boy in her school who was asked by a journalist, "Why are the Taliban against education?" He answered very simply, "A Talib does not know what is written inside the book. They think that God is a tiny, little conservative being who would send girls to hell just because of going to school." Malala also shares one of her experiences in Swat Valley. A journalist asked questions to a boy who lives in Pakistan. What is the question? Why are the Taliban against education? What is the reason? Even the little boy answered well. How he answered? A Talib does not know what is written inside the book because he is illiterate. He doesn't get the chance to study. He can't read and write. So, he doesn't know what is inside the book. More than that, they think that God is a very tiny, little protecting being who would send girls to hell just because of going to school. They believe that when a girl is sent to school, God will be sent her to hell. That is the concept of a Talib. That's why Talib is against education. This is the opinion of a little boy in Pakistan. From this we can identify a little boy can also understand the power of education. At the same time, it is very clear terrorist doesn't have the power to read and write. They are illiterate. Then we can move to next paragraph. Malala points out the terrorists misuse the name of Islam and Pashtun society for their benefits. Pakistan is a peace-loving democratic country. Malala also reveals that actually terrorists, they are misusing the name of Islam. Have you noticed that terrorists are also misusing Pashtun society for their benefits? What is Pashtun? Pashtuns, historically known as Afghans, are an Iranian ethnic group native to Central and South Asia. The native language of the Pashtuns is Pashto, an Iranian language on the Indo-Iranian branch, itself a branch of the larger Indo-European language family. Pashtun wants education for their children without any gender discrimination. Actually, Pashtuns, they are giving importance to education. They want to give education for their girls and boys. We can't see any gender discrimination among them. They know the importance of education. That's why Malala says that Pakistan is a peace-loving democratic country. The terrorists misuse the name of Islam and Pashtun society for their own benefits. Malala says Islam is the religion of peace, humanity and brotherhood. They believe that education is our duty and responsibility. She also reminds us Islam is the religion of peace, humanity and brotherhood. Actually, they are giving importance to the moral sides of a human being. They believe that education is our duty and responsibility. They give importance to education. Then we can move to the next paragraph. Malala reminds peace is necessary for education. She also points out that the terrorism, wars and conflicts stop children to go to their school in many parts of the world, especially in Pakistan and Afghanistan. She reveals that the pen is mightier than the sword. At the same time, she also makes us understand the terrorists are misusing the name of Islam and Pashtun society. Actually, Islam gives importance to education. Education is the duty and responsibility of every human being. At the same time, Malala reminds us peace is very important for education. Then only we can study well and we can enjoy the opportunity to be educated. Why she says peace is very important? Can you imagine the situation in Pakistan? I think all of you have the clear idea about Taliban, and they banned education in Pakistan. So she speaks about the terrorism and wars. So these terrorism and wars are forced the children to stop to go to their schools. We can see the same situation in Pakistan and also Afghanistan. Women and children are suffering in many parts of the world in many ways. In India, innocent and poor children are victims of child labor. Many schools have been destroyed in Nigeria. People in Afghanistan have been affected by the hurdles of extreme for decades. Young girls have to do domestic child labor and are forced to get married at an early age. Then she speaks about the sufferings of women and children. She points out women and children are suffering a lot in many parts of the world in different ways. She reminds us innocent and poor children are victims of child labor. She also points out in Nigeria many schools have been destroyed. What about Afghanistan? She says people in Afghanistan have been affected by the barriers of extremism for 10 years. She also reminds us young girls have to do domestic child labor and they are forced to get married at an early age. In the UN speech, she enlisted the struggles of women and children. We can see that all these things are really happening around us, while pointing out the challenges faced by the world in providing proper education to the young hearts. She lists out a number of issues like child labor, terrorism, early marriage, poverty, ignorance, injustice, racism and deprivation of basic rights as the main problems faced by men and women in creating a young educated world. Through this, she speaks about the challenge faced by the world in providing proper education to the young ones. We can see that she enlisted so many issues like child labor, terrorism, early marriage, poverty, ignorance, injustice, racism, and deprivation. What is deprivation? It means the damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in a society, or not having something that people need. So we can see that the basic rights sets the main problems faced by men and women in creating a young educated world. She also speaks about the basic rights of men. So we can see that there are so many issues around us. Women and children are struggling because of these basic rights. That's why she points out all the issues which are faced by the women and children around us. Malala focuses on women's rights and girls' education because they are suffering the most. She is not telling to men to stop away from speaking for women's rights. Rather than she is focusing on women to be independent, to fight for themselves. She underlines it's time to speak up. Through her speech, Malala reminds all the women, you don't wait for any man. It's our duty to react. It's the time to raise our voice against the struggle. We don't wait for anyone to speak for us. It's our duty to raise our voice against the injustice. At the same time, she doesn't say the men to stop their voice for women, but she reminds the women to raise their own voice against the injustice. At the end of the speech, she calls upon all the world leaders to change their strategic policies to ensure the peace and prosperity of a nation. She recalls upon the world leaders that all the peace deals must protect women and children's rights. A deal that goes against the dignity of women and their rights is unacceptable. When Malala concludes her speech, she calls upon all the world leaders. She says to the world leaders to change their strategic policies. What is strategic? Strategy means a general plan that is created to achieve a goal in war policies in over a long period of time. So we can see that Malala calls upon the world leaders to change their strategic policies. For what? Why she is telling them to change the strategic policies? To ensure the peace and prosperity of a nation. She also recalls upon the world leaders that all the peace deals must protect women and children's rights. She also reminds them it is the duty of all the world leaders to protect women and children's rights. A deal that goes against the dignity of women and their right is unacceptable. Again, she reminds them the deal that goes against the dignity of women and men, definitely it is not acceptable. We should rise our voice against them. It is not allowed to make the problems or to insult the dignity of woman and child. Malala calls upon the world leaders. First, she points out they should change the strategic policies. It's their duty to ensure the peace and prosperity of a nation. At the same time, they should protect women and children's rights. They should take the actions, the persons who act against the dignity of women and children. It is not acceptable. അതായത് എല്ലാ വേൾഡ് ലീഡേഴ്സും തീർച്ചയായും കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെയും സ്ത്രീകളുടെയും അന്തസ്സും അഭിമാനവും കാത്തു സൂക്ഷിക്കാൻ എപ്പോഴും ജാഗരൂകരായിട്ട് ഇരിക്കേണ്ടതാണ് എന്നതാണ് മലാല ഈ സ്പീച്ചിലൂടെ ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. Then she speaks about how the government can protect them. All the governments must ensure free and compulsory education for all children all over the world. And it is the duty of the government to fight against terrorism, violence, and to protect children from brutality and harm. Brutality means great cruelty. Then she also reminds the government it is the duty of government to give free and compulsory education for all children all over the world. At the same time, they should be ready to fight against terrorism, violence. They should protect children from the cruelties and harm. I know still we can repeat this sentence because we can see such brutalities and harm against children around us. So that's why she reminds the government it is their duty to protect the children from the brutalities and harm. Then she highlights the significance of inviting the developed nations to support the expansion of educational opportunities for girls in the developing nations. After that, she also reminds the developing nations you should give more opportunities for girls. They can provide scholarships to the talented girls. So it will be very helpful for the girls who are interested to study. She calls upon all communities to be tolerant and reminds we must reject all the prejudices based on caste, creed, sect, religion or gender to ensure freedom and equality for women. Then she calls upon all the communities. She says them to be tolerant. Tolerant means accept something that is harmful. At the same time, they should be ready to reject all prejudices based on caste, creed, sect, religion or gender to ensure freedom and equality for women. Creed means faith. Sect already given here in your textbook, a group of people with a somewhat different religious beliefs from those of a larger group to which they belong. So she reminds all the communities they should be tolerant. At the same time, they should ready to reject caste, creed, sect, religion or gender discrimination to ensure freedom and equality for women. At first they are ready to accept the change, then only we can make the development. She calls upon our sisters around the world to be brave to embrace the strength within themselves and realize their full potential. Being a woman, it is very important to realize their potential. She also gives advice to all the women and girls in the world. She reminds them all the women and girls have their own potential. They should be ready to recognize their strength. It is very important in every girl's life. ഒരു സ്ത്രീ എന്ന നിലയിൽ ഓരോരുത്തരും സ്വന്തം ശക്തിയും വ്യക്തിത്വവും തിരിച്ചറിയുക എന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണെന്ന് മലാല തൻ്റെ സ്പീച്ചിലൂടെ ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. Malala concludes her speech by reminding us the importance of education and peace. For achieving our goal, we should unite here and be ready to use the most powerful weapon of knowledge. And we should not forget that our brothers and sisters are waiting for a brighter future. When she concludes the UN speech, she reminds us education and peace are very important. When we have a peaceful atmosphere, then only we can be educated well. So, all of you should be ready to work together. Then only we can achieve our goal. All of you should be ready to understand the most powerful weapon is knowledge. The pen is mightier than the sword. And we should not forget that our brothers and sisters are waiting for a brighter future. So, we should be ready to work together. She reminds us we must not forget that millions of people are suffering from poverty, injustice and ignorance. As a human being, we should be ready to understand the feelings of others. We can see that millions of people, they are suffering from poverty, injustice and ignorance. So, you should be ready to work together for a colorful future for this generation. So, it is our responsibility to fight against illiteracy, poverty and terrorism. She asks us to take the most powerful weapons, pen and books. She again reminds us education is the only solution for changing this world. One pen and one book can change the world. When she concludes the UN speech, she reminds us it is our responsibility to fight against illiteracy, poverty and terrorism. How we can fight against these three evils? We should be ready to take the powerful weapons. The powerful weapons are pen and books. You should be ready to take your pens and books because the pen is mightier than the sword. She makes us understand we can change the entire world through the education. It is the only solution for changing this world. One pen and one book can change the entire world. This is the end of this chapter, the UN speech by Malala Yousafzai. I hope all of you have walked with Malala and her strong vision. So once again I remind you, the pen is mightier than the sword. We should be ready to recognize the power of education. We should be ready to be the part of the change in this world. We are ready to fight against poverty, illiteracy and terrorism through the most powerful weapon, that is pen and books. We can see that there are so many questions based on this powerful speech. I am sure you can easily find out the answers from the textbook. We can easily mark all the answers in the textbook itself. So, all of you read the questions and find out the answers. We will start the poem in our next class. Thank you.